Is Vegeta stronger than future Trunks in the Cell Saga? This has been a debate for a long time, and it's something I've even wondered. But today, I think we can actually get an answer. Before we get started, know that the answer to our main question is almost entirely going to be determined by if Vegeta, like Trunks, was able to transform into Super Saiyan Grade 3. And I know, y'all are probably saying that we never actually see Vegeta perform this transformation in the manga nor the anime. I get it. I hear you. But hear me out at least. There are several statements within the manga, the anime, and other credible sources like the Daizenshuu X that might suggest that he can, and I will be presenting that evidence in this video. Through today's information, we will get our answer if Vegeta is stronger than Trunks in the Cell Saga. Now let's get right into it. First of all, we all know how the Android Saga begins. We don't need to go ahead and cover every event. But we're going to be starting our case right after 18 embarrasses my boy Vegeta, and it's obvious that the normal Super Saiyan form isn't going to be enough to beat the artificial humans. Thus, Vegeta and Goku know that the only way to win this fight for Earth is to surpass the Super Saiyan wall, and this is really where we're going to start our conversation today. And before we get into the fight between Cell, Vegeta, and Trunks, because that's where we'll get most of our information from, I'd like to point out a fact, which we're going to use at the end of this video. The fact is simple. Vegeta is a brilliant fighter. He always has been, he always will be, and this has been noted by many characters throughout the series. And here's just a couple examples from the Cell arc. We have manga chapter 172, when Goku claims Vegeta to be a genius, or in episode 130, Piccolo is talking about Vegeta after he's defeated Android 19, and he goes on to state, he purposefully let the fight go on long enough to confirm that the artificial humans draw in energy through their palms. If he had fought with that number 20 guy just now, he likely would have lost. Instead, he came across like he had something up his sleeve. Vegeta really does have a gift for battle. And say what you want about Vegeta, but he's always been shown to be a tactical fighter on more than one occasion, both physically and mentally, specifically mentally. The point is Vegeta knows how to use his brain. Okay, but now it's time to get to the nitty gritty. We're going to be taking our main focus of our discussion to Vegeta and Trunks after they have emerged from the Room of Spirit and Time. I'm first going to show you guys two pieces of dialogue that I think correlate with each other, and then I'll break it down. So, the first thing that Trunks says to Goku when exiting the Room of Spirit and Time, this is in manga chapter 181, he says, Dad broke the Super Saiyan barrier in the first 2 months. He still wasn't satisfied with his power and kept going. Now, the next piece of dialogue I'm going to share is when Vegeta is decimating Imperfect Cell in chapter 185. Vegeta tells Cell when pointing to Trunks, and I quote, "There's a guy named Trunks over there. He has almost as much power as me." Okay, you're probably saying, well, that's just what Vegeta is thinking because Trunks hid Grade 3 from him in the Room of Spirit and Time. But don't forget, Vegeta obtained Grade 2 just after 2 months, like stated by Trunks, and he had an extra 10 months of training. It's kind of hard to believe that someone of his fighting stature wouldn't be able to hit the Grade 3 level, especially when Goku and future Trunks did. And also, don't you think that Vegeta would have noticed Trunks in the Room of Spirit and Time achieve a higher power? Vegeta can sense energy very well, and it's hard for me to believe that he wouldn't notice his son achieve a power higher than his own. Even on Daizenshuu X, and I'm going to show you right here, this is highlighted, and it was crazy to me that the author thought of this too. He goes on to state, while training with Trunks in the Room of Spirit and Time, he seems to be completely unaware that Trunks is able to surpass him. How is he able to miss it during the training will remain a mystery forever. And I'm just over here thinking, common sense is common sense. 2 plus 2 is 4. But okay, that's not proof enough. Let's continue on. Now we're going to take our attention to the dialogue between Krillin and Trunks while Vegeta is fighting Perfect Cell. Turn to manga chapter 189, and Krillin states to Trunks, I can get a feel for somebody's power, and now I know how insanely powerful Cell is. He goes on to say to Trunks that the amount of ki you feel from it, he's meaning Cell, isn't everything. It's got more. Way, way more. Just like you, Trunks. Krillin then goes on to say, you broke through the wall that Vegeta couldn't beat. Am I right? Trunks replies with, Dad did surpass the limits of the Super Saiyan, but one day I surpassed even that. Okay, cool. So that should be proof enough that Vegeta didn't obtain Grade 3, right? Well, I don't know, because in my opinion, Krillin is a good fighter for a human and may even be spiritually and energy sound. However, we have to take this with a grain of salt because Krillin is nowhere on the level of Cell, Goku, nor Vegeta in physical terms and in mental terms. It's hard to take what Krillin is saying as fact, but okay, I get how what Krillin did say can be seen as verbatim truth. So we're going to go through a few more pieces of evidence that I think contradict what Krillin says. We're going to be talking about the fight between future Trunks and Cell now. At first, Cell is impressed with the Super Saiyan Grade 3 power-up from Trunks, and you can see it here on the pages in the manga of Chapter 192. However, moving to Chapter 193, we see that this form has a huge drawback which most of us know about. For one, we see here that Trunks is not able to hit Cell, and simultaneously, Goku is performing the same transformation in the Room of Spirit and Time. We get some exposition from Goku here about the form, and he states to Gohan, "Could I beat him like this? No, probably not. The new mask gives me strength, but it kills my speed." He also goes on to explain how the form consumes too much energy. Simply put, the form is not efficient for battle. Why is explaining the form important in our argument today? Because, like stated earlier, Vegeta is a brilliant fighter. He would have seen this drawback and known that it would be useless against Cell. Let's even look at the next chapter, 194. Cell does the same exact transformation to mock Trunks, and he states to Trunks, "What good is a transformation that only gives you brute strength? You were a fool." Then Trunks says, "So that's why Dad chose not to transform this way. He knew this would happen." It's a fact. And after Trunks got humbled by Cell, he was able to finally think clearly and realize that his father could very much do the same transformation, but opted not to because he knew that would make him worse in battle, not better. Cell, in the anime, says the same thing. Look here. Cell, when talking to Trunks about the form's flaw, he states that anyone would know something like that, even your father, Vegeta. And if that's not proof enough, look what Trunks says. He goes on to say Dad was able to make this transformation, but he didn't do it anyways. If that's not proof enough, I don't know what is. Now, Cell might not know for a fact that Vegeta obtained that form, but you know what Cell does know? Cell knows that Vegeta is a smart fighter and an experienced fighter, and he also felt Vegeta's raw power in the Final Flash. And I would actually like to point out that the Final Flash actually might be a hint that shows how Vegeta was capable of Grade 3 at the time. And for this example, we're going to move our attention to the Daizenshu X website again, where the form is explained visually. Daizenshu X explains, in the second stage of Ultra Super Saiyan, which is Grade 3, the muscles increase in size even more, the power rises even more, speed falls, and with some characters, the pupils disappear. Now look at Vegeta when powering up the Final Flash. He's got the same yellow lightning emitting from him, just like Trunks was in his Grade 3, and Vegeta's pupil disappear for a little bit. Is it not possible that he did harness the Grade 3 power just into a singular blast without having to actually transform? And listen, I'll even admit that with the Final Flash argument I'm presenting, that I am reaching a bit. That's fair. However, we do see something like this happen in the Buu Saga when Goku's fighting Akon. Remember, Goku releases Super Saiyan 2 power without actually transforming to overwhelm and destroy Akon. But regardless, even without the Final Flash argument, from all of the other explanations and dialogue I've given so far, I'd say it's safe to say that Vegeta could transform into Grade 3. But before we get to the final part of the video, I would just like to show this article translated by Herms, who I'll put his Twitter link in the description. He is an awesome Dragon Ball enthusiast and one of the top guys at translating the Japanese language. The article explains Super Saiyan Grade 3, and in this paragraph shown, it is explained that, simply in terms of power, he surpasses even Super Vegeta. He's referring to Trunks surpassing Super Vegeta in the Super Saiyan Grade 2 form. He goes on to say, he challenged Cell after Super Vegeta's defeat, but couldn't match Cell's speed and suffered a crushing loss. Incidentally, it seems that Vegeta is also capable of this Grade 3 transformation. So even this article implies that Vegeta can transform into Grade 3, but he chooses not to because Vegeta was aware of its negative traits. So now the question is, who would win in a fight out of Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks or Grade 3 Vegeta? Well, we've already established from characters in the series that Vegeta is very intelligent and a tactful fighter, and more so than Trunks. Also, those traits tagged along with his battle experience, I would say it's pretty safe to say that Vegeta takes the W here. And if they were to actually fight, he wouldn't use the Grade 3 form, and he would utilize the power that he has in Grade 2 to overtake Trunks, especially with the speed. And that's the point. He knew that. And like shown in the anime and the manga, Trunks is too young and too green. He doesn't have the battle history like his father and would be outsmarted by Vegeta, just like he was by Cell. Thus, Vegeta is stronger than future Trunks, and Vegeta can definitely transform into Super Saiyan Grade 3. Listen, I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far, I would just like to say thank you for watching. If you do dig this type of content, feel free to subscribe to see more, and also if you did enjoy the time, hit that like button as it does help the video spread out to other fans. Lastly, please leave some comments and thoughts down below. I'm really excited actually to see what everyone's opinions are on this topic, and I want to just see if you agreed or not. It's interesting to me, and I'm always open-minded, just so you know. You know, maybe I missed something and I'm always happy to learn, because the thing is, I'm not a Dragon Ball historian that knows everything about Dragon Ball. I'm just a fan, and I do my best homework to understand the series fully, just like everyone else. But anyways, everyone take care of themselves, and remember, just like Vegeta and Trunks, always break your limits, be the best you can be, and never give up. Peace.